BRG9 Elite. Hello everyone, and welcome to AmmoMart.com. I have the rare privilege of introducing a brand new pistol to the North American market called the BRG9 Elite. I'm very excited about this handgun for lots of reasons we'll get into later. I've been around the weapon system for about 5 months as it's been tested, and I can't tell you how impressed I am by this product. Before we go any further, I would like to talk about the history of the gun a little bit. The weapon was designed and is manufactured in Turkey, and it's imported to the United States by the Buffalo Cartridge Company, a good friend of ours also headquartered in Findlay, Ohio. BRG Metal in Turkey has a long history in the Turkish military and armaments industry. Right away you'll notice when we do the unboxing how we have a nice hard case, totally lockable, and I always was a little disappointed when I would buy a new gun and all I got was a cardboard box. Lockable with dual locks, which some airlines mandate that you have. Nice feature there. And a very, very, very well thought out laser cut foam gear pack. And what a nice package this presents to be. Really, really, really nice. Complete cleaning kit. You do have a trigger safety lock here. A nice cleaning cloth. Of course, your magazine load assist, changeable back straps, and a spare magazine. The weapon ships with the medium back strap installed, and it does have, of course, small and large. And the pins, I can tell you, are not directional. Very easy process to change back straps should you decide to do that. Of course, I'm going to make sure that the gun is clear. I'm going to remove the magazine. As I began to handle the gun, one of the things I was most impressed with was the way the gun feels in your hand. It has a very ergonomic handle. There seems to be the correct grip angle, and the stiffening on the handle is very, very comfortable. Sometimes I find they're too smooth, so when your hands are sweaty, you don't have a good purchase on the gun. And sometimes they're too aggressive, more like sandpaper, and if you shoot the gun a lot, it starts to get onto your hands too much. This here seems to be the nice blend of both. You'll also notice related to the frame that you do have an undercut trigger guard, which adds to the control and comfort of the weapon. You have a standard Picatinny rail on the gun, which a lot of people that like lasers and lights on their gun are going to find that to be very, very helpful. You do notice that the weapon does have a grip safety. A word on that. Sometimes, depending on the manufacturer of the gun, I have a hard time with grip safeties. A lot of the people I work with on shooting ranges do as well. No matter what they do gripping the gun, they just can't quite seem to get it activated. This one here, based on its tension, geometry, and how much it sticks out, I've never had a problem with this grip safety. When I first started to see the gun, it was one of the things I was the most apprehensive about, and I must tell you now, it's one of the things I like the best. Once you learn to kind of do things with this gun, you're going to notice that reholstering is quite safe compared to some other models that you might be interested in. Moving on to the slide, you'll notice the slide dual serrations, which is going to be very, very great for lots of users. And the slide is actually constructed of 4340 steel, which is pretty uncommon in the handgun industry. This guy is very, very heavily built, robustly constructed for a lifetime of shooting. Your sights are high visibility. I'm going to try to look down here. You can see they're 3-dot, white in the rear, and a very, very, very eye-catching orange in the front. I can tell you that I noticed first acquiring the sights quickly. This is a really, really nice feature, and the width of the top slide also helps your eye find this much, much quicker than on some models. The recoil spring is a dual. And I must tell you, I'm not going to take the gun apart for time's sake. It is one of the softest shooting 9mm handguns I have ever operated. Your takedown is very simple. Just rotate the lever up, close the slide, pull the trigger, and it all comes apart. And one of the features I'm the most excited about with this gun is the slide, lock, and release mechanism. This is going to be patented as the perfect touch slide release. And to be quite honest, that's the only word for it. Even for a left-handed shooter, I find this very quickly, and there's the perfect tension on the mechanism so that it's easy to find and easy to release. Worst case scenario for this type of weapon would be an empty magazine inserted into the well and the slide lock. You guys know what I'm talking about already, perhaps, that those guys are kind of tough to get released. Not so much with this guy. It is just absolutely perfect. And I think the guys that are shooting the gun and like to practice with mag transitions and things are going to find this to be an extremely well-designed feature. I've shot the gun, as we've said, quite a lot over the last few months. I can tell you that this gun groups extremely well, all because of the trigger design. The trigger is straight bladed. It does have your safety plunger on the front, and you don't have the typical mushy sort of thing that goes on with a lot of striker fired guns. This guy, once you're on the wall, is a crisp break, and the reset is tactile. You can hear it, and I find quite adequate, especially for concealed carry. I know that there's an all the rage about how fast trigger resets and all of the different things. I think people, in my humble opinion, can get in a little bit of trouble with that unless they have a lot of experience and handgun proficiency. Speaking of safety features, this guy is loaded with safety features. You do have a striker indicator. We already talked about the grip safety, as well as here, and you do have a loaded chamber indicator. I think for people that are new to handguns, this is about as safe as handguns are going to get without a frame-mounted mechanical safety. I've been very, very impressed with the way this gun was designed related to the safety aspect across a wider range of customers. One of the other features I think people are really going to enjoy about this gun is its ambidextrous magazine release. Left-handed shooters such as myself, that's a real bonus. A lot of guns on the market that I really like, they don't have left-handed controls, and it makes my interest in them kind of go down a bit. One of the other things I really love about the mag release is how smoothly it operates. It instantly ejects the magazine for quick transitions from old to new. Along with the left-handed feature, when we go like this, left-handed shooter, your finger is right there. Really easy release on the slide lock and release. Big fan of that. As we go forward talking about the gun, one of the other things I would like to touch on is how many people, when I let them use these guns on the ranges that I work at, how much a wide array of people really enjoy this gun, whether they're females, big guys, small guys, somewhere in the middle. Everybody finds this gun very comfortable and easy to shoot. It's not recoil sensitive for new shooters. It's a very sturdy, nice, smooth platform. You will, in my opinion, find that the gun is extremely accurate. All guns take a little bit of time to get used to the trigger, but after 50 or 100 rounds, I was actually startled by how accurate this gun is. I can routinely shoot clothespins on the firing range at 50 feet with this gun as it is, no modifications to it whatsoever. That's the kind of accuracy you don't typically find at this price point. And when we talk about price point, the MSRP for this gun is going to be around $400, which I think is a heck of a deal when you consider all of the things that you're actually going to get. There are plans in the future to have a 5-inch version as well as a tactical model later on. The gun is also available in duotone and tan, which I also think customers are really going to like. There is a slight cost increase to right now that remains undetermined about those two models, but they will be available sometime around March or April 2022. So realistically, what do we have here? What is the BRG9 Elite? Well, first and foremost, it's a true combat handgun. Very well made, very reliable, and as a potential user, I can tell you I would absolutely trust my life to this weapon system. In the market, what's it comparable to? It roughly has the footprint of a Glock 19. You just don't have to pay as much for it, and you do get more safety features and a better gear pack. I would say its closest cousin would be the Koenig TP9 series, which are fabulous handguns. I've owned those, shot those, and it's pretty close in quality and accuracy, at least in my opinion. I think the important thing about this gun is the way it can bridge the gap between inexpensive, low quality guns and that monumental step forward as far as dollar spent goes in the handgun market. This is an inexpensive gun, but absolutely not a cheap gun. And in my humble, I can't think of a gun that checks off more boxes for more purposes for the overall dollar spent. I personally believe this is going to be one of the best values in the gun market for a long time to come. Thanks for watching our review of the BRG9. Don't be afraid to like and subscribe so we can continue on.